I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. It says, so I used to listen to Hillsong, Elevation, Bethel, Jesus Culture music, which led me to start listening to the teachings and preachings at those, quote, respective churches. Unfortunately, I got sucked into their false teachings and doctrines and was greatly deceived for about 5 years. I guess my question would be, how can one listen to this music and not fall into the false teachings of the pastors at these churches? Now, actually, this is kind of a secondary question. You may remember a little while back we had a question in regards to if music comes from an entity or a person who, for lack of better terms, is somewhat erroneous on doctrine. How do we handle that? Do we not participate in any of the music or only the music that's accurate? And it's not just the entities referred to in this particular question. I've even referred to even the great hymn writers of days past. Not all of them had the life that we would want to mimic of our own lives, but they have a song or a hymn that truly communicates gospel truth, and therefore we celebrate it. Again, I like the statement, a broken clock is right twice a day. Now, that being said, the question is, so how can we, quote, listen to the right songs, if they're there, and not get sucked into the teachings? Well, I think you answered your own question, because at these churches, at our church, any respective church, there's a very clear, distinct time between corporate worship and the preaching or the hopeful preaching of the gospel message. And so therefore, I will tell you that there's music that I listen to, that I don't listen to the pastors or the preaching of the, quote, church or place that it came from. And at the same time, can I be honest, there's preachers I listen to that I slide right through the music before I get there. Why is that important? Because 1 John 4:1 says, test the spirits and see if they are of God, whether that's the song that's being played or the message that's being spoken. Now, to kind of close this question, how can one not get, quote, sucked into it? I think the best thing to say is this. Do not go into any environment such as this. And by the way, can I even speak about my own church, First Baptist Opelika? Don't come in carte blanche. You say, what do you mean? In other words, every song we sing, every message that we preach and or hear should be measured against Scripture at all times. That's the final authority. That's the measuring stick, so to speak. And so just going into, and by the way, I love our church. Obviously, I pastor it, but I love this church. But I tell people all the time, don't just take my word for it. Go and make sure the Scripture supports and backs it up. And I think whether it's a, quote, questionable entity or a safe and security, that will help us test the spirits, because ultimately our final authority is Scripture. Great question. If you have one, send to askjeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at askjeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.